right, welcome back to another Natural State Run Club video. I'm Caleb.
I'm Kevin.
And we are going to go over our 2023 Year in Review Running Edition. So we're going to start off with some personal stats of our year in running. Let's see. I ran 1,019 miles last year, which I think is the first year in a while that I've run over 1,000. Nice. I did 177 activities across 161 hours, and I had 31,900 feet of elevation gain, approximately.
Yeah. Last year I got about 1,001 miles, so just over that 1,000-mile mark for the year. That is my first year getting over 1,000, so pretty.
Oh heck yeah! I didn't know that.
Pretty excited about that. Yeah, I missed it by a little bit last year. That was across 202 activities, 161 hours also, which is kind of wild. And then the elevation gain, we're at about 43,000 feet in elevation gain.
Dang, Kevin.
Pretty busy year for the both of us, so
yeah,
it was fun.
It was. So let's see. We did 8 races across the year, and all of those races are accounted for across our videos. So if you want to see specifics on any one race, feel free to go and look at those. I thought were all good races, but we PR'd across several things, so
yeah.
What all did we do?
Like the first race that we really filmed and that we PR'd was the Mid-South 50K. That was a really fun race and weekend overall experience. That one was, I think, almost like a 4-hour, 5-hour. We ran that one a little
like
faster.
A little over 5 hours.
Yeah, as part of, in the middle of marathon training, we ran that race, and
yeah,
that was a fun challenge that we didn't really expect to try to do, but
yeah, I think
we're very happy with.
Both of us were like, we're just going to run this easy. And we knew that there was a high likelihood we were going to PR, because the first 50K that Kevin and I did a couple years back had like triple the elevation that this one did and was single track. So the conditions for this race were a lot easier in comparison. So we knew there was a high likelihood of PRing. We just didn't know what that would look like. And then I think both of us ran it a lot faster than we had originally intended to. You just kind of get caught up in the hype.
Yeah.
So then from there, I PR'd in the marathon, which I'm sure Kevin would have been right there with me. He just had a slight mishap sickness-wise, and so that was mine. But then,
yeah, I recovered from some of that sickness and took that fitness and tried to put it into something else. Pretty shortly after I PR'd the half marathon. I think that was my Branson half marathon.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was nice to still walk away with a PR,
yep,
even though we were trying and attempting for that marathon PR, which you did a great job running on that one. It was nice to be, at least one of us got it, at least for all that training.
Yeah, glad to get it, but obviously disappointed a little bit in just the fact that we didn't get to run together when we had put in so many hours of training together, and then B, obviously running by yourself for 26.2 is less than fun.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And then finally, I PR'd in the I guess it's technically a PR. I did my first century ride on a bike last year, and technically is a PR because I hadn't done one before. So I'm a count it. It was another PR year. So big year for honestly both of us. That's a lot of PRs in a year. I'm sure as we whittle away at all of our times, this is going to get progressively harder to do, to have 2 to 3 PRs across a single year. That's a lot. I mean, honestly, looking at the scope of that, that's kind of crazy to do. Essentially all of the events that we've run, one of us PR'd in.
Yeah.
On kind of the longer distance races for sure.
I was saying that I think that shows too with the amount of growth that we've had this year. Like we just mentioned, there was a lot of miles in 2023 in the terms of consistency and seeing all that kind of pay off. Yeah. I think, speaking for myself, I felt like I really grew and excelled a lot more this year than previous years.
Yeah, absolutely.
that helped me achieve that, and that was exciting to see sort of that payoff.
Yeah. No, I would completely agree with that. It definitely felt like a more consistent, like taking running seriously and saying, you know, this is a hobby that I enjoy, but here are some of these goals that I would like to hit, and then consistently hitting those is a huge reward in and of itself, but then obviously getting to do it with you and with other run club members just kind
really
of
fun.
adds to the overall environment of that. So those are our stats. Any other stats that you can think of that you want to talk about? Had 7 espresso shots each. No, 5 espresso shots each.
Yeah. One mocha with that.
But no, lots of running steps. I'm sure, hundreds of thousands of steps taken. Lots of scoops of tailwind. Lots of gels taken.
Yeah.
Have to.
A lot of beers drank too at Run Club with our physical run club at Natural State Beer Company.
Yep.
That's been really fun. I think growing that community also, like, I don't know what the number is, but 10 to 15 new running friends and running.
Yeah. And just
Pull
remember,
into that community too.
we agreed once there was 1 million Run Club miles run, we'd get a tattoo of a heron. So got to keep track of those stats a little bit better this year.
Yeah.
So if you want us to get blue heron tattoos, come to Run Club. Just crank out 20 miles.
So we've touched a lot on sort of the PRs and those really great moments from last year, and wanted to recap a little of our own best moments. So I think for me, the Mid-South weekend, that race was really fun. That was my first time also being part of and spectating a biking race. Mid-South is one of the biggest, I think, premier gravel races in this area, and that was really fun to be a part of kind of what they do, what their event looks like, get to cheer on a lot of the bikers and kind of see what what another sport kind of looks like. And also be able to run our new ultra marathon race on gravel in a new area. Got to see Stillwater a lot. That was really fun. And I think another best moment for me too was the community. Again, we mentioned at Natural State Beer that we've been able to grow some of the friends that we met. We ran a few races with them, and one of those was the Hero Half Marathon. For me, was running and pacing Morgan and Jacob. We did a little recap on that, and that was really fun to see their growth and run with them to their half marathon PR. They both were well under 2 hours, and felt great too. Talking to them afterwards, I think their first marathon they were hurt, and just an overall bad experience for them. And they got the PR. They felt awesome about it, and still were able to continue running and move on to. I think they did a marathon too. Yeah, which is really cool. So I think that's a couple of my top moments from last year.
Yeah. To add on to that, my top moments were, and I hit on this a little bit in some of the stats, was running the Eugene Marathon was beyond cool in so many ways. It has so much track history, and getting to finish in the stadium where, we see the Olympic trials on TV. Kevin and I got to watch the World Athletic Championship there the year before. It was just the summation of a bunch of running moments, and getting to finish there with a PR was incredible. It was absolutely awesome to think that there are so many incredible athletes that have run that 100-meter stretch, and that we got to share in that location. The hype on that was just beyond belief. And then obviously the rest of the race was super cool as well, getting to see the rest of Eugene and run in some of the places that we had run the year before, and feeling like I actually know where this is, even though this isn't my more home race, was a super cool experience, and super grateful for that. Super glad to have, we had Daniel and Yuan come with us, which again was a part of kind of the community piece that Kevin touched on. Getting to share our race experience with them was really fun, and that whole weekend. So that was great. And then kind of building on that community piece, I think just the physical run club, kind of the other side of what this YouTube channel is us meeting at Natural State Beer Company every week and getting to grow the kind of running community that we have, being a piece of the larger community and feeling like we're almost like locals or regulars at a place, and getting to experience that week in and week out. And then just we've seen a lot of people come this year and have got to meet a lot of people in the running community in Northwest Arkansas, and that's been super special because we've kind of seen the full spectrum, and something that we really focus on is having the full spectrum of abilities at Run Club. We really encourage everyone, even if you want to walk around the little like lake that's right there, that's like a quarter-mile loop, we're just excited to have people, and that's fun to see them excited about even just being out and active, and again, a part of the community at large. I think is a super fun and building thing, and I'm glad to see kind of some of the results of us just consistently showing up and doing that. And then obviously all the people coming in, then they play a huge part of that and building that as well. So some really great moments from this year. 2023 for me, and you can echo this as much or as little as you want, but I think easily my best running year in between PRs and stats and the rest of the community piece was a really, really great year.
No, I totally agree with that. Something that I didn't expect to really enjoy was that community piece though, and understanding, getting to talk to people about where they started, what they're doing now, seeing and supporting and celebrating their accomplishments too was really fun. I really enjoy doing that. Like obviously it's fun to progress in my own growth, but it's really cool to also see the community grow at large too. So 2023 was really cool to be able to step into that and really play a role in trying to engage with the larger community as a whole. In 2023, a lot of running, and I think we also learned a lot about maybe our running style, our training methods, a lot about sort of how we engage in those training plans, those races, the community there. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the things we learned. And for me, I think staying consistent as much as I possibly can, even though there are days where I really don't want to run. It's maybe really bad weather. I just don't feel very good. Staying consistent through the training plan helped me to kind of stay injury free and can still run all the races that we did, all the miles that we did last year. And I think part of that, obviously Eugene was a little disappointing for me. It was still really cool to be in Eugene. I mean, just traveling for races is really fun. I just enjoyed that.
Agreed.
Inherently already. But taking some of that, consistency piece and staying fit enough to be able to run Branson a few weeks later was really nice. And again, staying injury free allowed me to show up every week, get the training runs done, even if it was slow, fast, on a treadmill even. It's like just showing up and still getting my body to work out and run and maintain that throughout the year. It was really nice. I learned a lot by being able to, even if it's slow miles or you just walk it still helps in getting the activity in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think my biggest takeaway lesson from the year is related to that. So we talked a little bit about this in the Eugene video, but something that we tried this year was low heart rate training. And there are a ton of methodologies and what exactly that means to different people. I think for us this year, or at least the way that I treated it, was my easy runs for sure need to be at or around 150. And, as I see heart rate climbing, I need to slow down and let my body kind of keep some threshold that we're staying at, especially if it's not a faster run.
Yeah,
And
really making the easy runs easy.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that has made a huge difference. It's not something that I am super hard about. If I look down and I see that my heart rate's at 160, it's not necessarily a freak out, but it's like, okay, like learn what this feels like, listen to your body a little bit more, and maybe take it a little bit more easy because no one's out here giving medals for going too hard on a long run by yourself.
Yeah.
Like that's not how that works.
Yeah.
And so that's something that has been super good for me. I think both of us managed to stay basically injury free this year, which I don't think historically has been the case. I feel like I always get a little more dinged up than I did in 2023. And so, obviously we were able, as we said before, to run a pretty good amount of races this year and to really stay on top of that. And so I think that's a huge takeaway from me, to learn to take the easy runs easy, and that probably a lot of my runs don't need to be at this, high intensity that I probably was running at from, my younger days. And I hope that will then allow, me to run for a lot longer. This obviously is a hobby that we're very invested in, and I hope that we can run in our 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s.
Definitely. 80s?
That's right. We're here to set the world
Masters
record
League.
for exactly the 100-meter dash at like 80. But you got to stay healthy to do that. So I think those were some of my big lessons learned. It was definitely, like we've said, a big running year. So lots of input and things that have taken away from it, which I've been grateful to learn all of these lessons, because they haven't been, hard lessons, I would say.
Yeah.
So
I think learning too that running is a hobby that I do enjoy as well, and that is something that is a long-term goal for me, is to continue to be able to run.
Yep.
And I mean, it's taking me around the world and meeting new people and being part of a community. That's all things that I'm looking for in my own personal life too. Running has become a big part of that, and that's been really rewarding. It's been fun.
Agreed.
Okay, so we talked about 2023 a lot. So what are we looking forward to in 2024? For me, I've been part of the Bentonville Half Marathon training group this year. That's we're training towards running the Bentonville Half Marathon again, which we saw in previous videos from last year. A few of our Run Club members, as well as other people that we've met throughout the community, are participating in this half marathon training program. And for many of them, it's going to be their first half marathon ever. I think a lot of them, they're jumping from like 5K straight to half marathon or anything like that. So that's going to be really exciting. It's been really fun to run each week with them and see them progress. I think I was talking to some people this long run this past week was their longest ever run. And that's been really exciting to watch that growth there. And so I'm really looking forward to just participating in Bentonville again and supporting and celebrating their accomplishments.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a super fun thing to see whenever it's like longest run week after week.
Yeah, and it just continues. It's going to be exciting.
Exactly, the hype with that and getting to celebrate that with everyone, because we're at a point that to hit our longest runs, it's a long way. That is fun. But speaking of that and longest runs, I am excited about Mid-South. So we have already announced we're doing the double at Mid-South. If you haven't already seen that video, I think it's very funny, so you should definitely go watch it. But it's basically a 50K on the Friday and then a 100-mile gravel ride on Saturday. So we are signed up for both of those events, which is a little bit wild. It's something that is well beyond what either of us have done before. Obviously, we ran this 50K last year, but then we slept the next day and got to wait on Catherine to bike her race.
Yep.
Whereas this year we're just jumping right into it. And, it's a little bit scary. It's definitely a stretch goal, because both of our experience biking, especially gravel biking, is not not a whole lot. So exposing ourselves to kind of that world and taking part in it is both exciting and a little terrifying. So super excited about that. I think that, something that we have continued to do for ourselves over the year, and that we, push at Run Club, is pushing your own limits and kind of finding where your threshold is and trying to go just a little bit past that to, see what we're made of. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. It's a little nerve-wracking, but with that, we also have, I think, between participating and just coming to spectate, I think we have like 10 or 11 people from Run Club.
Yeah.
And that's really exciting to kind of see our whole kind of Run Club crew go and do things. Is, I think, going to be a ton of fun. We got a massive Airbnb, so all of us get to hang out together and just kind of experience the race weekend together, which is something that, as we've mentioned in this video, the community piece of our Run Club is something that we really enjoy. So kind of taking the Run Club on the road is exciting. So I think that's another big exciting thing. And then finally, a little announcement is Kevin and I are, as well as a few other Run Club members, are running the Chicago Marathon this year. So that is super exciting. We have run the Chicago Marathon in the past. It was actually just a little bit before we started doing videos, so just slightly missed that. Yeah. But it was, I think, my second or third marathon, and I think both of us can speak to this. Like, it was beyond incredible. The Chicago Marathon, as one of the world marathons, the crowd support is just bar none. I mean,
incredible.
At least as far as other marathons that we have run, we're talking that there are crowds cheering for you 99% of the time. Maybe 50-meter gaps occasionally that there's not some people actively cheering, which is crazy.
I don't think I remember anybody, like any spot in the race where there wasn't a single person.
Yep.
It was wild to be cheered on for 26.2 miles constantly.
Yeah. So super excited about that. Obviously, it's another probably challenge for us. We're aspiring to PR in this. We think that there's still space left for us to continue to move down our PR. We'll see how far that actually goes down, but super excited. It's a flat, fast, super intense crowd support course, and so have high hopes for that. I think it'll be a fun weekend as well. Again, we've got a smaller crew for that, but again, several Run Club members are coming to that. So again, we're kind of trying to build the community piece of this to take with these different races.
Yeah.
So
to extend it a little bit too, like I think the way you got in and a couple other Run Club members got the lottery for this year, and a couple other of us, we didn't get it, unfortunately, through lottery, but we are running the race through charity this year too. And I think that's going to be really exciting. I'm really excited to partner with the Chicago Parks and Rec to help them, expand their influence around Chicago. They've got like some 600 parks, and raise money for them, raise awareness for what they're trying to do in Chicago as well. And I think that's going to be really fun to partner with them and run this race. Yeah. So we are doing a fundraising goal for Chicago Parks and Rec. I can put a link in the bottom of this video for this, for that if you want to support us and support, I think they call it Chai Parks, Chicago Parks and Rec there for it. But I think that'll be exciting, a new way to engage with the community and also run a really cool race. Yeah. It's like Kaleb mentioned before, it's a major, and that's always exciting. Yeah, to run on the same streets as some of the greats.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what, I mean, for us as runners, we are some of the biggest beneficiaries of parks. Mm-hmm. We get to live in these urban environments, but then still get to experience a touch of the more natural state and, be in those while still not having to travel way out of town. And so that's a super fun cause to support, and we're excited to get you and Morgan, our other Run Club member. I believe both of you are supporting Chicago parks. So excited to get both of y'all there and support a good cause along the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a few of the things that we're excited about in 2024. And 2023 was a big year for us, big year for this channel, the physical run club, and we're excited to do bigger and brighter things along 2024.
Yeah.
So
we'll be sure to take you along.
Yep.
We'll take you along that journey for this next year and kind of see where that goes. But it's exciting stuff happening.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you'd like to follow along for the journey of 2024, we'd love for you to subscribe to this channel. Obviously, we have lots of things. Last year, we did 8 races apiece, so lots of content that we'll be partaking in this year. I think we'll do probably that many races or more this year, knowing us, and lots of things to see. So if you'd like to follow along, we'd love for you to join us, and I think otherwise.
Yeah. Until we see you in the next one, keep it natural.